The sounds of drilling and blasting the big rock cliffs over the Tsavo River for the Kenya-Uganda Railroad didn't scare off the big cats of Africa. It did just the opposite. At night, the bridge construction stopped and the laborers slipped away into their rickety palm huts to rest. But the night silence was often broken by the blood-curdling screams of fellow workers. It was March 1898 when the terror became too much. Construction of the British Colonial Railroad under the hot African sun stopped. The disappearances of workers paralyzed all work. The hunters lurking in the darkness of the Kenyan savannah waited patiently. For 9 months, the workers would disappear into the night, dragged into the darkness. Humans were no longer at the top of the food chain. They were stalked and eaten by 2 male lions. This is the story of the man-eaters of Tsavo. As part of the construction of a railway linking Uganda with the Indian Ocean at Kilindini Harbor, in March 1898, the British started building a railway bridge over the Tsavo River in Kenya. The building site consisted of several camps spread over an area of 8 miles, accommodating the several thousand mostly Indian workers. The project was led by Lieutenant Colonel John Henry Patterson, who arrived just days before the disappearances and killings began. During the next 9 months of construction, 2 maneless male Tsavo lions stalked the campsite, dragging workers from their tents at night, devouring them. There was an interval of several months when the attacks ceased, but word trickled in from other nearby settlements of similar lion attacks. When the lions returned, the attacks intensified with almost daily killings. Crews tried to scare off the lions and built campfires and bomas, or thorn fences made of whistling thorn trees around their camp for protection to keep the man-eaters out, all to no avail. The lions leaped over or crawled through the thorn fences to get into the camps. Patterson noted that early in their killing spree, only 1 lion at a time would enter the inhabited areas and seize victims, but later they became more brazen, entering together and each seizing a victim. As the attacks mounted, hundreds of workers fled from Tsavo, halting construction on the bridge. But how bad was it? How many workers actually got eaten by the man-eaters of Tsavo? The Ugandan Railway Company, however, reported 28 dead workers. More than 100 years after the story, using chemical analysis of the lions' hides, the Field Museum suggested the more accurate number to be 35 people eaten, 11 by one lion and 24 by the other. At this point, colonial officials began to intervene. According to Patterson, even the district officer, Mr. Whitehead, narrowly escaped being killed by one of the lions after arriving at the Tsavo train depot in the evening. However, his assistant Abdullah was killed while Whitehead escaped with 4 claw lacerations running down his back. But why did these 2 lions eat humans and not hunt like other lions in Tsavo? Not only are we humans easier to catch, but the very makeup of our bodies is more appealing to lions who want to put in less work to kill and chew their prey. The Field Museum's scientists published a study in the journal, scientific reports of the teeth and jaws of the 2 known man-eating lions, and compared them with wild-caught lions. At a microscopic level, they found that for the man-eaters, hunting live humans might have been preferred over gnawing the bones of dead animals, which is much harder on the teeth. The scientists further examined the skull of one of the man-eaters from Tsavo, and it showed a severe tooth abscess. Broken teeth are normal for lions, as their faces are the target of defensive kicks by prey. They also discovered pus pockets in the lion's mouth that might have made it too painful for the lion to take on larger prey. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Patterson was determined to finish the railway and knew something had to be done. He decided to hunt them. Patterson had a lion problem delaying his railroad, but the British military officer, with experience killing tigers in India, had a plan. In December 1898, Patterson's first attempt at killing the lions was unsuccessful. Summoning the workmen at their camp to gather tin cans and noisy instruments, he had them form a semicircle and advance into the bush. Patterson positioned himself behind an anthill and waited for the lion to walk past. The lion came within 15 yards of his position, but Patterson's double-barreled rifle misfired. Flustered, he hadn't fired the left barrel. But the noise created by the workmen had disoriented the lion, giving Patterson enough time to shoot again. This shot hit its target but didn't wound or even kill the lion. Upon nightfall, Patterson built an improvised tree stand with a chair perched above the ground and set a dead donkey carcass as bait. On December 9, 1898, he would kill the first man-eater with 2 bullets from his rifle. The second man-eater's death was perhaps even more dramatic. Patterson used goats as bait, but in the pitch dark, he fired bullets wildly, but he missed. 20 days after he killed the first lion, he set up another blind above goats and waited again. When the lion approached, he fired his smoothbore and connected. The lion dashed into the bush and died. When the story got out, Patterson became an international hero. Patterson initially used the 2 dead lions as exotic floor ornaments. In 1924, he sold the skins and skulls to the Field Museum of Natural History in exchange for $5,000. The construction crew returned and finished the bridge in February 1899.